สวัสดีค่ะนักลงทุนนักวิเคราะห์และท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านดิฉันธารีรัตน์นักลงทุนสัมพันธ์ขอต้อนรับทุกท่านสู่งาน Opportunity Day ของบริษัท Symphony Communication จำกัดมหาชนซึ่งจะมานำเสนอผลการดำเนินงานประจำปีพุทธศักราช 2564 ณ โอกาสนี้ดิฉันขอแนะนำผู้บริหารระดับสูงของบริษัทประธานเจ้าหน้าที่บริหารฝ่ายปฏิบัติการและรักษาการประธานเจ้าหน้าที่ฝ่ายการเงินมิสเตอร์อเล็กซ์โลซึ่งท่านจะมานำเสนอผลการดำเนินงานและตอบข้อซักถามนักลงทุนในวันนี้ค่ะขอเรียนเชิญมิสเตอร์อเล็กซ์ค่ะ
Sawadika. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm the CEO of Symphony Communication. Thank you for coming and joining the Opportunity Day of Symphony today. And I believe I will take through a few slides on the background of Symphony and also a quick snapshot of the financial performance of the Symphony in 2021. And then probably we will go to the Q&A sessions for the investors or anyone who have any particular questions for me. Yeah. So I believe the slides is already on screen right now. I will go through very quickly with the topics for today. I will give you a background on the quick on Symphony in terms of our introductions, our business, our infrastructures, and also our services. And then followed by a quick few slides on the financial performance. And probably the last one is actually the key focus and also the outlook for Symphony in the going forward future. Yeah. So who we are? Symphony is actually a Thai-based service provider. It's actually existed for 20 years in the telecom market in Thailand. We focus mainly on the fixed line and also the international connectivity services. And we are also listed in Thailand Stock Exchange for about 10 years already. We are also fully certified with the ISO and also the CSS star for the cloud security. On one side, we also own a private submarine cable systems together with our cable landing stations in Rayong. This is also a key infrastructure milestone for us, as we actually being the only private company that own the cable submarine systems. On the corporate level, Symphony is also owned by Time.com, who is actually the Malaysian fixed line provider, who holds about 46.84%, being the single largest shareholder in Symphony Communications. There are 5 pillars of services that we are actually focusing on, mainly connectivity, internet, cloud, ICT solutions, and also data centers. I will go through on the on the connectivity. Our network connectivity in domestic in Thailand are actually spanning across 50 provinces. I mean, a whole nationwide coverage in Thailand. We are also connected to 5 borders around Thailand to the regional countries CLMV, including Malaysia, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia. At the same time, we also own pretty much diversified international backbone infrastructures from Bangkok to Singapore and also Hong Kong, being the financial hub for the international connectivity. We also own the submarine cable, as I mentioned, which you can actually see on the blue line. It's actually a private owned submarine cable between Malaysia, Cambodia, and also Thailand, represented by 3 service providers. The next slide will show where is our footprint in Thailand. So being spanning across the whole nationwide Thailand, we have about 50 provinces coverage, means our fiber backbone actually crossing to all these provinces at the main cities and also the district areas. We also have fiber connectivity to about 250 buildings in Thailand. I would say 80 to 85% are predominantly in Bangkok province. We also have fiber running across all the industrial estates, approximately 53 industrial estates. So this allows us to provide direct fiber connectivity and also network services across all the industrial estates and their tenants. Supporting us on the infrastructure that we have in Thailand, we also have service centers around the Thailand provinces in order to take care of our entire fiber backbone connectivity that we have and also the systems that we deploy. Being internet as part of the connectivity that we have, our internet as an ISP, we are connected the customers network across our internet backbone that is also connected to our internet exchange and also the international internet gateway, which is also connected or peering to major service provider carriers and also the cloud providers around the world. We also have peering across the Europes, whereby the connectivity or even the peering activities can be exchanged between the multi-branches or even the customer's premise across the different parts of the world. On the international network connectivity, we provide a few layers of services, mainly on the international MPLS, our IPLC VPN, riding on our connectivity that we have in Thailand and also in international. On the international side, the submarine cable is where the traffic or the demand will be carried on because we need these cables to connect us to various parts of the world as part of the data transmissions or data connectivity. If you look at where our enlarged global international connectivity, as I mentioned, we own the submarine cable, private submarine cable between Malaysia, Cambodia, and Thailand. And if at the same time, we are also connected part of the entire group submarine cable systems, which we have AAE1 intra-Asia cable, which is APG, MCT, Trans-Pacific connecting between US and also Japan, China, Hong Kong, which is connected via the Faster and Unity cables. So that means for us to carry any traffic from different part of the location, we can tap on these international submarine cables for us to carry the traffic from one point to another point. Typically depends on where the customer's connections requirements are. So this is actually a very short submarine cable system details. As I mentioned, this is actually a collaboration between 3 service providers from Symphony in Thailand, Telecom Malaysia, which is actually the largest network provider in Malaysia, and also Telco Tech, one of the ISP in Cambodia. The next thing on the infrastructure that we have, data center, I believe this is also another layer of the infrastructure that we built or we invested 2 years ago. It's actually called as AIMS at Bangkok. It's actually carrier neutral data centers. And this data center is actually located in downtown Bangkok City. Okay. Power-wise is 1 megawatt. The capacity racks is about 200 racks and is fully equipped with the relevant power facilities, securities, and also the relevant certification to guarantee the right standards applicable for data centers facilities. At the same time, in terms of connectivity across the data centers in Thailand, this data center is also pretty much fully connected to different parts of the data center and also relevant key cities around in Bangkok and also connected to international as well. Being the data center, I believe we are also looking at few criteria. One of them is actually where the location strategically in downtown. I think this is also a distinguished point that why we chosen the AIMS Bangkok in downtown. At the same time, it's also interconnected to different parts of the data centers across Southeast Asia to facilitate the connectivity across the world. At the same time, not only the data centers are connected, but it's also subsea cables and terrestrial networks. And this is also a key criteria to pull the regional carriers, cloud providers, or even the OTTs to come across to put their edge equipments or to be connected to different parts of the world. Just a quick one on some of the customers reference that the Symphony has. Without going very details about it, our customers, be it domestics or international, are spanning across our different types of services that we have. Mostly domestic customers are the large corporations coming from banking sectors, insurance, services sectors, and hotels, and also the educational sectors. This could be relating to very much to the local connectivity, be it internet, private lease line, or even data centers, whereby certain corporations are outsourcing their co-locations to be housed in our data centers. On the international side, I think we actually have different types of customers. The ISP and telco are one part of the customers that we have, especially on the domestic ISPs who have networks or who doesn't have networks. They are also connected to Symphonies, and this is also where we're providing the services as to the wholesale ISPs. On a data center system integrator or even SD-WAN providers, they need the connectivity in Thailand, and this is also where we're providing the interconnection data centers or even international connectivity for them. On the international side, this is also quite a big customer base that we have, whereby we actually serve the regional carriers, either local or even overseas carriers, including telco operators within the CLMV, especially on the Myanmar side, and also the e-commerce guys. I'm sure we all know about how aggressive or how penetrated the e-commerce providers, in particularly in Asia, and together with their presence everywhere part of the world, I believe this gives us an advantage to provide the connectivity for them. Other than that, the OTT and also cloud service provider, we can't disclose the names due to the confidentials, but we do have some OTTs and CSP, cloud service provider, actually riding on our fully infrastructures that we have for their connectivity services. We are also on one side, as part of the connectivity and customer-centric organizations or as a service provider, we are also certified for the ISO and also the cloud certifications. This is also to ensure that services that we provided to our customers are based on the relevant standards and the compliance that we need to have to make sure that they are satisfied with our services and guarantee SLA accordingly. Yeah. A couple of awards that we have achieved over the last 2 years, including the Thai Chamber of Commerce Awards on the business ethics. We also certified as one of the members for the anti-corruptions for the CSC awards that we actually got it in 2021. Yeah. Being at the corporate governance, we were also rated excellent 5 stars for 2 consecutive years, and this is also to testify the level of corporate governance that we provided to all our stakeholders. Okay, I will move on to the financial performance. Just a quick one. We just closed our full financial year 2021, the Q4 and also the full year performance. In short, without going to very details, I think our top line and also the net profit level have actually shown an increase year on year. And this is also due to external and also internal demands. External pretty much coming from where the growth of the data demand across the whole industry sectors, be it local, domestic, or even internationals. At the same time, we are also able to tap on new customers, especially from the emergence of the OTT and also the regional telco carriers that is actually seeking for additional bandwidth demand across different countries or even locally as well. If you look at top line revenue, our numbers grow by about 15% year on year. Together with the EBITDA, we grew by 9%. Our net profit grew by 35%. We closed for 129 million Thai baht in the year of 2021. This set of numbers are also, like I mentioned, is driven by where the domestic growth and also the international growth of our business. And I believe this is also something that leveraging on the situation of the COVID and also the landscape of the telco market within the regions or in Thailand itself. In terms of the revenue contributions, we were split with three types of business segments. One is actually what we call it enterprise. Enterprise contributed in 2021 about 43% of our revenue, and followed by the international being the next key segments, which has grown a lot over the year due to the international connectivity that we provided to our OTT, our regional markets, and also some of the cloud service providers. Wholesale, which is actually a typical I would say it's a sunset business. It's actually focused very much on predominantly the services that we provided to the ISP, local ISP who doesn't have a network, which is used to be 10 years ago, it was used to be a main primary business that we provide the backbone connectivity or even lease line connectivity for all these wholesale network providers. Just a quick run through of the 5 years financial highlights that we have. On the top level, total revenue, EBITDA, net profit, these are the key indicators of our financial highlights. Over the last 5 years, if you see the growth, Symphony actually has did a turnaround business since 2017, and we managed to actually turn around the companies in 2020. And with 2020 going to 21, this is actually the sustainable growth that we actually aim for over the 5 years journey that we actually crafted 5 years ago when we first came in 2017. If you look at in terms of our balance sheets, whether from total assets, total liabilities, and total equities, pretty much optimized, and we are running at I would say a much more sustainable or stable financial position at this moment. Yeah. In terms of the cash flow and also the debt that we have, a couple of years back, Symphony has a huge balance sheet leveraging on the debts that we have, about 2 billion. And over the times, we have been actually quite disciplined in terms of managing the way that we spend our cash and also trimming down the debt level in order to bring down the relevant ratios to optimize our balance sheets. And over the years, I believe the financial positions or leveraging ratios have improved substantially. This slide is actually on the relevant key ratios over the last 5 years. From where we started 2017, when we first time did the turnaround, until today, 2021, I believe a lot of things have actually changed. And this is also being seen as part of the ratios that we have built, achieved over the years in terms of the relevant ratios, either from a growth perspective, leverage ratios, or even from a profitability perspective. Being listed and also have our shareholders. Given the set of results that we have, we are also happy to announce the dividend payout for our shareholders. It will be paid once we get the approval in the AGM, which will be held in April next month, 22nd. And the payment will be made to all our shareholders on the 19th of May. It's actually the total payout is about 32.5 million based on 0.05 baht per share. A quick on the key focus that we have. I believe this is something that I would like to share to the audience. As part of our key focus area going forward, there are a couple of things that we plan to do over the next growth journey. First of all, if we look at where we started as an infrastructure providers, especially on the network perspective, we aim to make sure that our reliable network are always top priorities. And together with the services that we provide to our customer, it has to be a trusted brand. And this is also coming from the local brand name of Symphony used to have for the last 20 years, I would say, has actually been quite popular from a local industry standards telecom market perspective. So on the quality and the satisfied service, we are looking for different ways. One is actually more on the customer centric, whereby relating to SLA and also the 24/7 supports. ISO also gives us added advantage in terms of the services that we have, as it's based on a certain standards and compliance that we need to provide to our customers. On the futures, I believe on the network expansions and also coverage is something that is very important. 5 years ago, when we started the enterprise, we aim to grow our enterprise on double-digit growth on an annual basis. The reason is very simple. A lot of activities are happening in Thailand, particularly. The local markets, especially on the enterprises and also corporates, are actually driving a lot of digital expansions, digital transformation, digital technology across all their businesses and operations. And I do believe this will actually drive a lot more demands on the data consumptions or even the international bandwidth connectivity. So the network infrastructure where we will expand, it also depends on where the customers' locations, requirements, in order to serve different types of services that we can provide to them. Value add and also certain solutions are also something that is very relevant in today's market, especially in enterprise. Security, including cyber security, is also something that is what we are looking at in terms of having it as part of our key product offerings, targeting at our enterprise markets. Different types of ICT solution on a project basis is also driving a lot of digital transformation across the enterprises group. This is also where we have seen over the last 2 years, the COVID pandemic also has driven a lot of behavior change on the way that they apply the technology, connectivity, and also the services, particularly from a network and IT perspective. The next one is actually the digital focus that we want to play in, or want to focus as part of our 3 years roadmap, is where the cloud and the data centers that we have, and that's where also we will aim to grow on these particular segments as part of the digital infrastructure that we can actually serve in a different manners to our enterprise markets. And the last thing is actually where the corporate governance. I think we will continue to emphasize on being the good governance with relevant standards in order to have sustainable organizations in telecom market. Okay, just to share on the quick this year's, particularly from the outlook and also our key priorities. We all understand the pandemic, COVID, is going to end very soon, hopefully. And this is also where we seeing the local markets or even the regional markets are starting to easing the rules and also opening up a lot more activities. I do believe that, particularly from a Thailand perspective, the get back to a new normal is something that is what we are expecting. And I believe in the next second half, especially of 2022, things will be much more competitive. And I believe there will be a lot more spendings across different industry sectors. And I believe this will then drive where the domestic market that we want to continue to expand, particularly from where the digital technology and also the demand for connectivity will continue to flourish. We also aim to build on our new cloud services and also security solution that I believe we can offer as on top of the connectivity services. The reason is quite simple. We have infrastructure that we have, and the services is something that we believe can be complement very well on the infrastructure that we have spent over the years, including the new one that we will be putting in. We're actually replacing our own old legacy backbone systems that we have to serve our metro internet. This new MPLS network is also something that is with a new advanced technology and capabilities. And hopefully this will then continue to bring a lot more benefits from a latency wise, from a SLA perspective, and efficiency and intelligence coming along the way to serve our existing customers and also for new customers. On the international markets, I believe the demand and opportunities coming from OTT, hyperscale data centers, and a lot of the content providers or even cloud providers are actually shifting their focus to Thailand particularly. And I believe this also in line with the digital hub that Thailand is being positioned at this moment. And this will actually drive a lot more cross-border connectivities and also the what I would call it a magnet, for those people to be connected either in Thailand or within these regions. I think on the financial side, I believe we aim to continue to optimize our balance sheets. We will be spending the money where we feel that it will benefit for the company on a commercially wise or even from a strategic business perspective. And hopefully this will then help us to also on a optimatics level or, to manage our working capital and the relevant loan obligations that we have. CapEx and also new services, I believe these are the two key criteria for us to relook into as part of our cash flow management, and hopefully we will continue to invest in order to drive efficiency and also expansion of our business. Okay, basically that is pretty much on the first round presentations before we move into the Q&A. Hopefully this gives a better picture of the Symphony business and also the profile that we have for the audience today. Yeah.
ค่ะจบไปแล้วนะคะสำหรับการพรีเซนต์ผลการดำเนินงานของบริษัทค่ะเซสชั่นต่อไปเรา move on ไปที่คำถามที่ทางนักลงทุนได้ส่งถามเข้ามานะคะเดี๋ยวขออนุญาตอ่านคำถามนะคะมีทั้งภาษาไทยภาษาอังกฤษเดี๋ยวขออนุญาตแปลคำถามเป็นภาษาอังกฤษให้มิสเตอร์อเล็กได้ตอบนะคะ The first question, assessing overall business and industry year 2022 will be better year on year and from what factors?
In 2022, I think we will continue to focusing on certain key aspects of our business. Like I mentioned, the growth that we see from the local enterprise markets will continue to drive the data and also the demand connectivity. At the same time, we are seeing a lot more expansion from international providers or international customers coming into Thailand. So I'm actually happy to see this will give us an opportunity to continue to tap on this demand and grow our business. And hopefully that would also translate into revenue or even profit growth in 2022. Yeah.
And next, how many % growth of revenue target from last year, or how much revenue will be in this year?
Last year we closed about 15% top line and about 30% net profit. If we continue to perform as what we have actually did in 2021, and hopefully there is no big change in terms of the market swing, I'm hoping or I'm confident that the company will continue to on this momentum, and hopefully we will be able to maintain the same level of double-digit growth, either from a top line or even from a bottom line perspective.
Okay. Will sales on Q1 of this year will be better quarter-on-quarter and year-on-year, and from what the factor?
So our nature of business is depending on the sales cycles and also the conversion to revenue. So if you ask me, technically the Q1 and Q2 are actually quite important, because that would actually translate to where the sales will converting to revenue, and you get a full 12 months impact of the business. We for the Q4 and also Q1, I believe the momentum will still be the same, because we work on the pipelines over the last few months, and what we have seen is also quite a strong, consistent demand coming from our two markets, particularly from enterprise and also the international market.
And next, how much is the budget for year 2022 investment plan? What does it support?
In 2021, I think we spent about 500 million ballpark numbers as the capex. Mainly is also to deploy a new backbone system for Symphonies. I would say that for 2022, we are also looking at estimated value about 20 to 25% of our revenue base. So that will come about 300 to 400 million, hopefully, and to be something that we have put in our budget for this year's spending.
And any chance to see M&A or joint venture or synergy in years 2022? And are you currently talking on that? And how many companies you are talking?
I think M&A or even any joint venture synergy are very depends on the two things. One is the strategic of the business directions. That is must be relating or complement very well to our existing business that we have. Second thing is also depends on what is the future value that we can actually get from the new business or the new M&A that we have. We keep on exploring in the market closer to telecom sectors or even the digital technology sectors in terms of new opportunities or even something that we could try as part of our long-term new business expansions. At this moment, we are considering and also exploring. I wouldn't be able to share a lot more. But then rest assured, we are actually open for any of these M&A or JV, as long as it comes together with the two criteria that I mentioned.
Next question. What is the asset utilization on data service?
At this moment, the data center that we have in Ames, Bangkok, downtown, the utilization is about 15%. I have to say, over the last 15 months, due to the COVID situation, lockdown, curfew, particularly in Thailand, it does impact the way that the data centers in terms of the potentials. Usually the customers or even the potential investors, they would want to take a look at the data centers because it's actually a location based. And the last 15 months is actually quite difficult. But we do expect things will be better in this year, hopefully. as we're starting to opening up more and there are a lot more requests coming in, I believe the demand for data centers or even for the cloud and connectivity will continue to accelerate more after the endemic of the COVID situations.
Next question. It seems last year revenue from data center and cloud not increased. Do the company have any problem and how the company will manage on it?
Like I say, data center infrastructure services is something that is what we're looking for long-term business perspective. The data center that we have is actually about 200 racks. I would say 70 to 80% are targeted at our enterprise markets. The remaining is actually probably for carriers or even operators that would want to put their equipments or hosting certain applications on our data centers. The timing is very important here. So I believe that the timing we are looking at is just not only on a short-term basis. And I do believe that this will be something that is complement very well going into forward in the futures for our business. Cloud business is very new to some extent. We have a large customer base at this moment, and we see a lot of requests or a lot of a shift from the IT or network perspective to move away their on-premise to cloud. And I do believe that this is something that we can add value to our customers or even serve as additional offerings in order to provide to customers that require the cloud infrastructure or even cloud services coming from a platform application perspective.
Is the tourism and hotel customer segment recover comparing before COVID?
Tourism or even the hotel industry sectors, the impact the last 2 years are actually quite big in Thailand market. And I do believe that this also impacts the way that they are spending on the network connectivity or even IT perspective. We do experience the first year 2020, the big impact coming from these sectors, but it's still very small percentage of our revenue base. Even with the 2 years impact, the impact of our revenue declining is probably about only 1% at the most. Yeah.
Okay. And next question. I would like to know that since year 2021, SIM net profit growth 35%. What is the target net profit growth on this year?
For this year, I think 2021 was actually quite a good year for us. I believe the 35% or even the increase of profit is something that also due to our efforts to from a cost management perspective and also driving the revenue. I would say that this year's we are also targeting at least a double-digit growth. We will continue to see what we can optimize and what we can control on the cost and also commercially when we look at certain projects, strategics, or even tapping on our existing new services. Hopefully with the new add value, we continue to maintain a very good margin of our business. Cost-wise, I believe we have a right methodologies. I believe we have been doing quite consistent over the last few years, and I do believe this will help us to manage going forward any unexpected cost management perspective.
And what is this year CapEx?
About 300 to 400 million. That will come closely to about 20 to 25% of our revenue base.
And about the merger of DTAC and True in telecom provider in Thailand, is it any impact to the Symphony?
We have done some analysis, our internal assessments. The merging of the two big telco giants particularly from a mobile sector perspective, may have an impact in terms of the competitions and also the regulations in Thailand. But impact to Symphony, we don't see any significant impact, mainly because we believe the nature of their business is also relating to the infrastructure that we have. And I do believe with their aspirations to become a tech company would also means that they have to invest a lot and also to drive their business going forward from a digital standpoint. And this also may give us an opportunity for us to continue to work or continue to provide services for them, depending on where exactly they want to do going forward. At this moment, the services that we provide to them or the revenue that we get from them are still very relatively in a small percentage of our revenue base. Yeah.
The last two questions. How Myanmar market situation impact to your international business?
I believe the Myanmar market is still very important for them and also for us. Okay, mainly is despite the almost close to 2 years, the situations of the COVID and also the political reasons happening in Myanmar. On the another side, I believe this also would drive a lot more demand from a telecom or even connectivity perspective, especially what we have seen over the last 15 months. The demand coming from them are actually quite a lot. And at the same time, this will also help us to tap on the services that we can provide to them. Now, the question is, how long will this political risk will continue? I think this is something that none of us are able to control, okay? But then again, I believe things will be better in the next, hopefully in a year time, when the regional starting to open up, traveling becoming more and more, business or even international transactions will continue to be back to normal. I believe slowly this will also driven by external factors, and hopefully this will help Myanmar to recover as soon as possible. And that would also means that along the way we will try to capture this market and try to maintain what we have with them, or maybe to continue to serve them, but in a different capacity wise. Yeah.
Okay. They asked about our increasing income in year 2022 that you already answered. And what are the risks you are concerned?
Our risk of our business, or even if you look at either from revenue, sales, or the way that the telecom market perspective, I believe in Thailand, the competitions are something that we need to be wary of. I believe there are a lot of organizations from different sectors are also moving into different types of technology change adoptions. Okay, and I do believe this also translates to many providers are also expanding their business or the services, and this is also means we need to actually improve ourselves. Okay, that's the reason why I share the key focus on what in my earlier presentations. There are a few things that we aim to do, and we also want to be the best in the certain areas that we are have a lot more experience, especially from a network, customer perspective, our brand, our customers. And what we want to eventually grow is aiming for a specific industry sectors or segments. We want to also provide more services in order to tap the market shares. The digital infrastructure is something that we are also continuing to play, particularly from a cloud and maybe the security perspective. So along the way, the risk from the competition will always be there. The risk of losing the customer or the churn is a reflection of how well we do our business or how we improve ourselves. I believe we have the relevant experience and we have a big advantage because Symphony also part of the time, we also a larger group. I believe there are a lot of synergies, knowledge, and capacity-wise, we can tap on each other to actually sustain in this both domestic and international market.
ค่ะขอขอบพระคุณทุกท่านนะคะที่สนใจสอบถามข้อมูลเข้ามานะคะสำหรับวันนี้ทางบริษัท Symphony Communication จำกัดมหาชนขอบพระคุณทุกท่านที่ให้ความสนใจนะคะหากท่านใดมีคำถามเพิ่มเติมสามารถติดต่อมายังฝ่ายนักลงทุนสัมพันธ์ได้นะคะที่อีเมล ir@symphony.net.th นะคะหรือจะเป็นทางเว็บไซต์ของบริษัทได้ค่ะสำหรับวันนี้ทางคุณอเล็กซ์และดิฉันธานีรัตน์ขอบพระคุณทุกท่านค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
because it's show time out